Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV. Well, I know you're not doing very well, especially if you've just got in from work and you thought you put the highlights on of the City game against Bodø Glimt, or you'll see the last 10 minutes or so as City cruise to victory and probably qualify for in the top 8, so they don't have to play a playoff game in the Champions League. If that's what you were thinking, you're sadly mistaken, guys. I think you're sadly mistaken, because that was another despicable, cowardly performance. And I don't use those words lightly. It was a cowardly performance tonight from Manchester City. And I've got to say, as well as quite a few of the players, Pep has to take so much blame. So much blame. If he wants to take the plaudits, if he wants to take the credit, if he wants the pats on his back when we do really well, when we win stuff, he's got to take the brickbats. He's got to take the pelters for what we've seen this evening. He's got to take that. Oh, man. It was as bad as you could imagine. I had people saying the game against United was one of the worst games, worst performances, worst effort levels, worst desire from City that they've seen in years. Even my mate Bernard said it was like going back to the 80s or 90s. It was that bad. And if you think that was bad, we were playing against a Bodø Glimt side who have never won a game in the Champions League before. And we got turned over 3-1. And guys, they had at least 2 goals chalked off for offside. If they timed their runs better, they'd have scored. They had 2 or 3 other good chances. If Bodø Glimt scored 6 or 7 tonight, that wouldn't have been a shock, because they had the opportunities, they had the chances, and we were lucky time and time and time again. They played a simple game of football, and we, thanks to our wonderful bald-headed manager, we complicated it. Bodø kept it simple. Play narrow. Okay? Play very, very narrow. When City can give the ball away, which we were doing quite regularly, when they give the ball away, charge forward, put them under pressure, put a lot of bodies up at the other end of the pitch, and City was still strolling back. Terrible lack of effort, lack of conviction, lack of intelligence. So many bad performances tonight. And it started off with Pep. What on earth compelled him to put Ryan Nuri at right back? What made him think that was a good idea when he's a left back? What? Come on, someone help me here, somebody. Someone's got to help me. What made him think that was a good idea? Why? We had Rico Lewis on the pitch. So why couldn't we have Rico Lewis at right back? Why couldn't we have Ryan Nuri at left back? With Nico O'Reilly in midfield supporting Rodri. Why couldn't we have done that? I don't understand that. We pick, again, the ineffective Phil Foden, and Ryan Cherky was not much better. They've been pumping in terrible performances of late, especially young Phil. They've been putting in really bad performances, and Pep keep picking them. It keeps on picking them. They keep on putting in bad performances. I guarantee you there's a good chance both of them will start against Wolves at the weekend. They keep putting in these terrible performances, and he keeps picking them. I don't know. Look, it's tough. Yes, we've got defenders missing. We've got illness and whatever. Núñez is not knocking about. Nico Gonzalez not knocking about. So yeah, you got lack of personnel. We ended up with, I think we had the youngest Champions League starting lineup that City have ever put out, with Rico Lewis in there, with Kushinov, with Max Allain. Yeah. Foden's still only 25. Cherky's younger than Foden. Nico O'Reilly. A lot of kids out there, but it weren't good enough. And you can look at the bench. We had a lot of kids on the bench. But where was Nathan Ake? He was on the bench. He should be on the pitch. Simple as that. You need a calm, cool head. Nathan Ake should have been on that pitch. I say week in, week out, start with Nathan Ake, because I hate our tactics right now. I hate them. I really, really do despise the way we're playing football. We've got wingers. We've got people like Jeremy Doku. Why is he sat on the bench? He should be starting. Pep is, not only is he playing René Nuri out wide on the right. He continues to use our fullbacks as our wide men. I'd like anybody who's got of stats of that game. How many times did Nico O'Reilly take people on and get past them and put good balls into the box? How many times did he do that? Why are we using Nico O'Reilly as a winger? Our fullback, expecting him to do something. Well, there's no damage to be done there. We were expecting René Nuri early on. There were some good touches from him the first few minutes, him and Cherki on the right. But he faded. And because you're pushing your two fullbacks up, because they're up, I mean, one of the commentators said normally you'd have, when you have one fullback going down one wing, the other one drops back. You don't want to get caught out behind. We had both fullbacks bombing up. What's going on? When we lose the ball, which we did far too easily and far too regularly, you've got Max Alain and Kushinov trying to pick up the pieces. Rodri gets himself sent off from two yellow cards. But you could see them happen. I think the second one was when Nico O'Reilly lost the ball and we were outnumbered again at the back. And Rodri takes that. It was about a minute apart, those two yellow cards, and he's off. And you know, everywhere you look, horrible. Haaland, what did he do? He couldn't hold the ball up. All right, they weren't knocking the ball up to him too much, but he couldn't hold the ball up. He had two really good chances. Didn't score. Sorry, mate. That's your job. That's your job. He hasn't scored in open play, I believe, since, was it the 20th of December? It's a month since he scored in open play. It's not good enough. Should be dropped. No one is undroppable. No one is bigger than the team. No one is bigger than the club. I mean, Haaland shouldn't be there. Simple as that. You can argue we're not giving him chances. He's had two good, presentable chances tonight. He's not taking them. And there's another one he had early on when it was 0-0 on his right foot, and he decided he needed to cut back in onto his left foot. Chances gone. So he's not doing the business. But there were so many bad things. We were so predictable. So predictable. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. That's what we were doing every time. We pass the ball wide, pass it back. Pass it wide, pass it inside. Pass it wide, pass it inside. Pass it around the back. What's the point? At some point, Pep, you've got to realise there's no benefit. There's no point. We had nobody really taking people on. Where's Doku? Where's Doku? You know, I can't remember which defender said he's one of the two most feared attackers in the league that he didn't want to face to try and defend against his dribble, because Doku is terrible for these defenders, because he stops and starts, jigs one way, goes the other, stops and starts, and they can't cope with that. So easy to play against City tonight. So easy. Gaps in the middle. They were doing a lot of long balls over the top. They flicked them on or hold it up, and they were through. There was one goal kick. A goal kick, okay? I can't remember the score. It's probably 3-1. A goal kick they had, and it was 3 against 3 at the back for us. What's going on? How can we have 3 against 3? I think this is before Rodri was sent off. How can you have 3 against 3 at the back from a goal kick? You'd think if you had 3 against 3 at the back from a goal kick, you'd have enough players further forward to press the opposition. We couldn't press the opposition. They were taking it in turns to either hit the ball long or pass it around us. Terrible. They were knocking the ball out wide as well. I mean, anywhere they knocked it up the pitch, they could knock it out wide. Our fullbacks were up the pitch, or they were struggling. Kushinov and Max Alain had a really tough time. Look, they're going to make mistakes. You're going to be under pressure. They were under pressure far too much because there was no protection from anybody else on the pitch. Very little protection elsewhere on the pitch. Kushinov saved us a couple of times with his pace and effort, but there was so much pressure on these guys. And initially I was thinking, you're making mistakes. You know, why are you making mistakes, Alain and all that? And then you realise the rest of the team, the senior players, were not protecting them. And they were, excuse me, Bodø Glimt were coming through time and time again far too easily. Don't take anything away from Bodø Glimt. Don't blame the pitch. It's got nothing to do with the pitch. Your lack of effort has got nothing to do with the pitch. I'm just going to look through my notes. I can't say repeat some of the stuff I've written. But yeah, it was just terrible. Bodø should have had a lot more goals than the 3. Rodri, very poor mistakes. On the third goal, it was a good goal, but Rodri gave the ball or lost the ball in midfield, and the fellow that scored actually sidestepped Rodri too easy. far too easy. We were just lazy in the tackle. Cowardly is the word I use, and it's true. Nuri, I remember watching him going in for a tackle like a coward. He was not going in to win that ball. He was going in to not get hurt. Ridiculous. Some of the mistakes they made. If you made it as a kid, you'd get told off. That's the truth. If you made it as a kid, you'd get told off. And same as on Saturday again in the derby against United, they wanted it more than us. And that should not happen. Our players are so arrogant at times. They're still doing these tricks and flicks, okay? They're so arrogant at times. They don't want to put the effort in that is required. You've got to put enough effort into a game to allow you to mess about, to allow you to, do these tricks and flicks, to allow your creativity and your skill and your technique to shine, okay? But if you don't put the effort in, you're not going to get the opportunity to be as creative as you want and to shine. And we didn't. Foden, for me, did nothing. Cherky, very, very little. There's a couple of good crosses. I think there was one near the end when Nico O'Reilly should have scored, just headed it to the keeper. Maybe Foden did one decent corner that I can remember where Max Allen was left free, should have scored. But really, apart from that, very, very little. Haaland missed, I think, 2 great chances. And I think we were 2-0 down, but you put one of them in before half-time. It could be a different kettle of fish. Reinders, for me, he did nothing. Rodri started off looking all right, and then suddenly it's like his legs had gone and his effort and motivation had gone. If Real Madrid are talking about getting Rodri and he's interested, let him go. Because that performance tonight was awful. And getting those 2 yellow cards, yes, he's under pressure and everything else, but you can't be getting the 2 yellow cards. He'll miss the next game against Galatasaray. We've got to beat Galatasaray now, and it could be. I mean, I can't remember where we were, 5th or 6th in the table on goal difference, but there's a lot of teams on 13. There were a lot of teams on 13 and 12 points, and we had 13. And it's quite conceivable that we will drop out now. I'm just going to nip up and look at the tables. It's quite conceivable that we can drop out of the top 8. And that you just wouldn't, honestly, you wouldn't believe it. I said, excuse me, Bodø Glimt, okay? I mean, they stunned us tonight, but they've not looked terrible. They've not looked terrible. I mean, they should have beat Spurs. Spurs scored with, I think they were 2-0 down, came back to 2-2. They scored a goal very late on. It was an own goal. But maybe Bodø should have won that game. But it's just, I'm looking at the Champions League table now. Look, we sat in 4th, looks good. But we're on 13 points. Okay, Liverpool are in 9th. They're on 12. Dortmund and Spurs on 11. I think they're playing tonight. So potentially one of them goes above us. Newcastle, they're on 10. So if Newcastle win in this game week, okay, they'll go above us because we're on +4 goal difference. Newcastle on 7, I think. So you've got actually Barcelona down in 15th. Okay, if Barcelona win, potentially they go above us. I mean, their goal difference is 3. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that are outside the top 8 who could overtake us if they win tonight or tomorrow. 7. Okay, that puts us under pressure for the last round. I mean, Galatasaray. I mean, here's the thing. Our last game was against Galatasaray, okay? They've got 9 points. Now, if Galatasaray somehow manage to win tonight or this game week, they'll not be on 12 points, 1 point behind us, knowing that, all right, that they're probably, I think they will have qualified them because looking down the table, I mean, Bodø got 6 points. They're in 26. So, I mean, Galatasaray are qualified. But they know that if they can get a point at City, it'll cement, it'll cement their place. And potentially, if Galatasaray beat City, they could look at that and say 15 points might get them through in the top 8. Galatasaray ain't going to come, to City and just let us win and let us walk over. If we'd won tonight, I think we're on 16 points. Last season, 16 points was enough. Probably 16 points would have been enough for us today. We started with a +6 goal difference. Let's say we won by a couple of goals. We're on +8. And probably that's enough. That would probably be enough for us to qualify on 16 points. I mean, you look at the last result. I mean, what was it? We lost 2 in the last 3. Lost at home to Leverkusen. Another horrible result. And we're on a really, really poor run. If you take those 2 cup games out, we're on a terrible run of form. And it's like last season all over again. And it's, again, last season, that run of form was nothing like we'd ever done before. And what's happened in the last 6 or 7 games? I mean, we've got, in the last 4 games in the Premier League, we got 3 points. Last 3 games in the Champions League, we got 3 points. And that includes a home game against Leverkusen, and we hadn't lost at home for years. And an away game at Bodø Glimt, you'd think, should we win both of those games? Really? I mean, where was it? Leverkusen? Leverkusen is sat in 20th place. 20th place. And actually, if we'd beaten them, they'd be in the bottom 8 or whatever it is, bottom 12. So they wouldn't even in a qualifying position. So it's ridiculous what's happening at the moment. I mean, actually, I was thinking I'll come on and do a live stream, but everybody's obviously going to be watching the footy, the next games, which are going to start in just about, well, look at me clock now, about 2 minutes time. But no, guys, I mean, I really don't believe what I'm watching. I can't believe it's happening again and again and again. And we're doing the same things. We're making the same mistakes. And somehow, and this is a craziness, we're doing the same crap play, expecting it to be somehow different. The games we've lost on, or the games we haven't won in the league, the way we played against United, the way we played against Bodø Glimt tonight, forget the extra game. I mean, come on, those guys, what, League 1, League 2? Forget that. Forget that, okay? It's terrible. And Pep has to look in that mirror. Pep has to look in the mirror because a lot of it's down on him. Bad tactics tonight. Terrible tactics. And he didn't change it. Half-time, carry on, guys. You were crap first half. I'm not going to do anything at half-time. So you can be crap second half. And we were crap second half. Even crapper than the first half. So why didn't change anything? Why did he at half-time say, right, Rico, slot in at right back. Rayan, slot in at left back. Nico, play alongside Rodri. Don't let them score more goals. Don't give them all these chances. And let's try and claw it back. Haaland, put the ball in the net. I nearly said something rude there. But Haaland, put the ball in the net. You've had your chances. Okay? And people talk about flat track bullet. And I've said it. Sometimes Haaland's amazing, but far too often, there's no benefit to us for you to score your second or third goal in a 4-0 win. It's times like tonight, you're losing 2-0, you've got a really good chance to score, you've got to stick it away. That's the time we need you. Not when we're winning 2-0 and you score a penalty or something. Don't care. Don't care. You know, let the goalie take it. I don't care at all. He hasn't scored a goal in open play, I think in the league or at all or whatever, since the 20th of December. It's a month. It's a lot of games gone there. It's like he's got 1 goal in 7. It's not good enough. So every one of those players has got to look at themselves tonight and ask them what they're doing, because it's not working for us. I mean, there's I'm going to finish with this point. I had a couple of points, but I'm going to finish with this. I think Manuel Akanji was asked in the press conference for his Champions League game about the injuries at City and did he think he might be recalled? And he basically said, "There's no way I was going back." So I don't think he probably felt respected towards the end, and he probably didn't appreciate the way Pep treated him and the lack of game time and everything else from being a top player. Everybody talk about this great player we got on the cheap. Kanji said there's no way he was going back to Manchester City. So he's gone, Ski. Terrible. We've got to look. We're going to qualify as a minimum. We've already got enough points to get through to the knockout, to the playoff stages. So we're already through to that. And Mark Gahey will be in the squad. Antoine Semenyo will be in our squads going forwards to the next phase of the Champions League. But boy, we're making it hard for ourselves. We don't get through the top 8. That's an extra 2 games. We've already got too many games. And another 2 games, That's going to be really tough for us to take. And last season, who did we end up with? Was it Real Madrid? Got booted out by them? Can't afford to have those games. Tonight was a game to win. Tonight was a game to have resolve and steel and desire and show character, personality, as Roy Keane would say, to show your personality. And what we showed that we had a yellow streak down our backs. We were cowards tonight. We need leaders. I hope Matt Gay comes, Matt Gay's got to play at the weekend. He's got to start the weekend because I think he'll do what some of our players want. He's going to show leadership. He's going to show desire because he's worked hard to get where he is. He's going to show that. I'm very confident of that. And I think he's also going to be able to pass the ball where our defenders can't pass it. We can't do these long defense splitting passes. I mean, Haaland was making these runs at times. No one's passing him the ball. And we've got so conservative, so defensive, so tippy-tappy. And that's through the manager. And it worries me about Semenyo that Pep's going to coach the audacity out of him, coach, the maverick play at times that he can do out of him. It's a worry. It's a big, big worry for City going forwards. You can tell I'm really disappointed. I am really disappointed with what we offered tonight. It wasn't good enough. And look, we're going to get through to the next round of the Champions League, whatever. But we've got to book our ideas up because there's no point saying, oh, yeah, we're in the business end of the season. This is when we go on a run. This is when we show who we are and where we are. Okay? All we're showing so far in January is that we're crap. We've missed our opportunity to overhaul Arsenal already in the league. 7 points behind. Still got games to play. It's not all doom and gloom. But the way we're playing, it's the lack of effort. The lack of effort is killing us. And the lack of that tactical nous. You got a bald head, Pop. Use it. Pep. Use it. We need some intelligence from you. Terrible. I've had enough ranting. I'm going to go and have a break. I've had a blooming virus for weeks, it seems like. I've got no voice, and I've had to watch that horrible game of football rather than getting ready for work tomorrow. I've got a lot of stuff to do, and it's terrible. And it's certainly put a dampener on my evening. Like Saturday put a dampener on my weekend a little bit. I'll be all right tomorrow, guys. You know me. But will City, will this... in the long run, yeah, we'll be all right. But Pep, sorry, mate. You cocked up, mate. You got to take it on the chin. Guys, if you're new to the channel, where have you been, guys? Where have you been? Subscribe. Why can't you subscribe? It costs you now to subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you're notified as soon as new videos come out. And give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a share. Always nice to get some acknowledgement and some thumbs ups. Always good. And keep it here, guys. Keep it real. Keep it City Fan TV. We'll see you around, Blues.